How's it going, peeps? Welcome back to Viva Coin. I am Joe. I will be your host for today's episode. And first and foremost, thanks for bearing with me. I know it's been a couple days since I put out a new episode here for you guys talking about Bitcoin and crypto in general. There's a couple good reasons for that, and I'm going to talk about that within this video and also give you a couple updates of different ways that you can interact with us and ask me questions to help better connect everyone to the resources they need and the education they need. And then ultimately for the rest of the video, I'm going to go through some updates on the overall cryptocurrency space, the altcoin season that we are so quickly entering and what that means for different altcoins as well as for Bitcoin. And then finally, we're going to wrap up with just a couple other pieces of important Bitcoin and cryptocurrency news. Aside from that, if you could share this video with anyone that might find this information useful, as well as the additional channels that I'm going to mention here within the next couple seconds. I want to be able to bring that education to them, so share it with them. Leave a like on the video. Any comments or questions that you may have, leave them down below, and I'll try and get back to them as soon as possible. But first, before we jump into the actual crypto information, I did take some time to think about how can I better help individuals that are getting into this space. Because ultimately, I made this YouTube channel and Drew is helping with this YouTube channel because we care about putting out information for you in order to help you make educated decisions, to not fall for either the euphoric or fear-induced news that comes out and could be completely misleading or difficult to understand. And I was pushing as hard as I could to put out as many videos as I could throughout February and March in order to get people aware that this channel exists and to bring them in here and to share that baseline information about the large projects that I like, what I was preparing for the altcoin season that we are now starting. And ultimately, I wanted to educate people before we started firing on all cylinders, which we now are. So what I want to do is I started a Telegram channel. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Telegram, it's essentially just like Discord, but it is just a chat group. You can download Telegram app on your Android or Apple. I have an Android, but just download it. And I'm going to put the link to join that Telegram community down below. There's no paywall, there's no subscription. I'm not going to ask you for anything. I'm never going to ask you for anything. But it is a good way for, on the daily, for me to give certain updates that I think for individuals to ask questions and even to start community discussions about some different projects or concerns that people might want to bring to the forefront and discuss that I can't cover on this channel. Because between you and I'll just be honest, it was fucking exhausting over these last 2 months trying to gather all that information and put it out in what are essentially single cut presentations in a way that can be consumed by individuals that are not familiar with this space. And I take an immense responsibility and I put it on myself because this is one of the most important things I think we're ever going to be a part of. So I was really wearing myself pretty thin and running around the clock trying to put all that together for everyone. So now that that groundwork is laid, I want to have that additional resource for our daily conversations. I'm going to give updates about different positions I have, things I see in the market. Ultimately, none of it is financial advice because I am not a financial advisor. I am not a fucking wizard. And again, I can't predict the future. So I'm never going to tell you for certain what is going to happen because none of us fucking know. But what I will do is try and keep everyone informed there. So then that way I'm not going to start having panic attacks myself thinking, I got to make a video. I got to go tell everyone right now. We'll be able to have just a free flowing conversation throughout the day. And if you're more tenured, but you're still interested in that information, you can always mute it throughout the day. And then if you have a question, just jump in and add to the conversation. I'm happy to have you. And that link's going to be down below. And I'm also going to post it on our Twitter, which again, if you're new here, it is at Viva Coin BTC. And I'm going to link that down below so that you can jump on there. And again, I just think it's going to be easier for us to communicate. And then that way I can focus on 3 or 4 videos a week on YouTube to really get into some of the bigger items and some of the news that I either see other people talking about that I think is being mispositioned or misrepresented, or just point out a couple things that I'm thinking and why I'm making the decisions that I make. Aside from that, let's go ahead and actually jump into the video and discuss some pretty exciting news regarding cryptocurrency. So, if you did not hear, all across the news, crypto market cap surges to record $2 trillion. Is Bitcoin sitting at 1.1 trillion? The altcoins, with altcoin season kicking, brought up the additional 900 trillion to push us past that mark. And something really cool about hitting $2 trillion, you would think, wow, that's cool. It doesn't register like it was hitting 1 trillion for the first time. It took 10 years for cryptocurrency in total to hit a market cap of $1 trillion. It took 10 years. It took 3 fucking months to get from 1 to 2 trillion. That is how quickly this market is growing. And that is what we are going to continue to see, in my non-financial advisor opinion, throughout the rest of this bull run. We're going to keep seeing large institutional investors, international populations of retail investors, as well as full governments as they recognize that they cannot stop it and they need to buy in, they need to mine it, they need to find a way to try and regulate it, yes, but they will have to participate. They're going to start purchasing as well, whether they announce it outright or try and do it behind the scenes. And I'm actually going to talk about a story a little bit later on that touches on that. But for the altcoins, real quick rundown. I'm not going into any of them specifically in this video, but everything is pumping. XRP, I haven't done my video breaking down their lawsuit with the SEC yet. They're up, they're doing really well. So if you do hold them, if you do believe in them, congratulations to you. It's been a long 3 years of holding them, a lot of pumping and dumping, and a lot of frustration with that lawsuit. I do believe that as they navigate that and get out the other side, I said that they'll probably do well. They're not necessarily the investment for me, but that's my own personal preference. I like other projects much more. And with a market cap now of $46 billion, yeah, even if they pump all the way to $5, that's a 5x return. Just getting to a over $200 billion market cap, I'm most likely going to move my investments elsewhere unless I was in something super early like Cardano, which I purchased a bunch very, very early on. And even they pumped up. They were as high as $1.34 today. And then Bitcoin had its flash crash of whales selling off and price manipulation behind the scenes that tanked everything down a bit earlier this morning. And that's okay. Polkadot's up. BNB leading the charge behind Ethereum is all the way up to $61 billion. And I believe that the rest of these Big 10 networks will continue to chase BNB. And then Ethereum leading the way, breaking new all-time highs last night, got to $2,160 and is close to a $250 billion market cap. All exciting stuff. And the reason for this is we are officially in altcoin season. Now, I know that I showed you this metric originally in my altcoin season preparation videos. And I think at that time we were sitting right around like between a 68, 69, all the way up to like mid 70s. Right now, we're at a 92. We have blown right through this line and we are in full-blown altcoin season. And what that means is that more money, more attention is going to flow into altcoins as opposed to Bitcoin. Bitcoin typically gets a lot of the time in the spotlight. And it's the reverse in between these altcoin season fluctuations. And we can see when Bitcoin ran up from about $20,000 all the way close to 60, that was in what they call Bitcoin season, which people don't really label it that. It's just, oh, Bitcoin's pumping. But that was through, around November all the way up until around the end of January. And we've been in a little bit of a sticking pattern ever since with pumps here and pumps there, as well as just because it's altcoin season, that doesn't mean Bitcoin can't have a good April. It just means that the altcoins are going to outperform it significantly. So that is why you're going to see them pump. And ultimately, if we look at the overall Bitcoin dominance index, this is just showing how much Bitcoin is really controlling the market. How much dominance does Bitcoin have? And it is dropping by the minute. And we're all the way down to the low 50s at this point, well, mid 50s. A lot of different charts that people are pulling up shows that it can go significantly lower, all the way down to the 40s, which means more than half of all the attention, all the money flowing in is going to be going into altcoins. And since they have lower market caps, it's going to create more significant returns on investment and really life-changing wealth for a lot of people that set their positions up early. So all things to keep in mind as we go into these next couple months, and as this develops and I start doing longer, deeper dives on the videos that I do make that I can put a little bit more time into and get a little more analytical on, I'm going to continue to break down how everything is performing. Now, I did mention about governments or these large institutions continuing to flow into cryptocurrency. And people still will keep coming out and say, well, they're going to have a hard time regulating it. India just announced for the 50 fucking time that they're going to ban it, that people aren't going to use crypto there. Not necessarily. And I'm going to pull up a story that was actually talking about Morocco. In Morocco, their government banned cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. So they stopped peer-to-peer Bitcoin trading. And yet, what do we see? The volumes, ever since they banned it, have increased. Bitcoin purchases are rising, despite a ban on cryptocurrencies in the North African country. In November 2017, Morocco's Foreign Exchange Office informed the general public that virtual currency transactions were an infringement on foreign exchange regulations and subject to sanctions and fines. Financial regulators continue to view cryptocurrencies with skepticism, even as the country's central bank investigates the benefits of a government-issued national digital currency, which is all fucking horseshit. If a government issued a digital currency, just because it's digital doesn't mean that they can't just print out more digital dollars, digital Moroccan native currency. It doesn't matter because you don't have a finite amount. It's the same problem. It's just easy to access because it's digital, but people aren't getting into cryptocurrency because it's fucking digital. And I don't know how hard you're going to have to drill that into their heads for them to understand it, but it has to do with it being a permissionless, trustless, infallible, immutable system that you can transact with anyone all around the world peer-to-peer without any interference. And that isn't the case for just a digital dollar, a digital Morocco currency, whatever their native currency is. So ultimately, they can't ban it. People just bought more of it. And that is the perfect real-life use case for why cryptocurrency is so important. And if you think it's just governments versus the people and that's all it is fuck the man and we're all out here fighting over it, no, there is a ton of adoption. There's new adoption news coming out every single day about people that will be accepting payments. I saw Starbucks will be accepting payments. Chipotle put out that they're going to be doing a Bitcoin giveaway for burritos. We know Tesla led the charge by allowing people to buy vehicles with Bitcoin. And it's spilling over into every walk of entertainment. We see it in NFTs. We see it in music. And now, when I mean every day, I mean every day. This literally came out today. Sacramento Kings offer Bitcoin salary options for employees. The NBA franchise is set to offer Bitcoin as a salary option for everyone in the organization in the latest series of experiments with crypto. I'm not going to fucking lie. I didn't even dig too deep into the cutoffs or how much they would allow, and I'm about to go apply for a job with the Sacramento Kings because that is like paying someone in exponentially appreciating salary that is just going to continue to pay them long after they've received their initial payment. It's sports organizations, it's institutions, it's large business to business transactions. Visa is using the USDC coins and Ethereum network to help settle payments. We are in this period of, although it is early stage adoption, it is moving at hyperspeed because everyone that is a first mover before the larger wave of early adopters, they are going to set themselves up for just unparalleled success moving forward, not only by holding a fair amount of a very finite and appreciating asset, but they're also going to be able to incorporate that into all of their inner systems, leading the way in innovation in whatever field or industry they might be in, retain better talent, get better people on board to work on new projects, find new partnerships, work better internationally if they want to do anything in that regard. So you're seeing it all over the place. Everyone coming in and purchasing as much cryptocurrency as they can. And despite what you're going to see in the charts, and I'm only going to pull this up to show you guys what we saw earlier today, because I think it's important. We saw this dump, right? And everyone was like, oh my God, what's going on? Because Bitcoin was really strong this morning. Everything was pumping. And then we had these real quick dumps. And it went all the way from, it was pushing right around high 58.9 up to 59. And then it just got crushed. And that's because you have a couple minutes in a row like this. Out of the blue, these large either whales or institutions or individuals that want to dump the price and buy more or to scare people out do this systematically, and it's the same people that were doing it for the futures. And although people that are familiar with cryptocurrency recognize that this is occurring, not many of the new people that are in it recognize that fact. So all things to keep in mind that I'm sharing here that I'll continue to talk about on both Twitter and our Telegram channel. And as I put out these videos and as you find any value in them, continue to share them. The more information we get out there for other people, the more they're going to be able to step into this space and get a foothold for not only what will be an incredible year for cryptocurrency, but will lay the groundwork for what I believe is going to be the life-changing year for everyone, which will be that next bull cycle year, which is 24 into 2025, if you're already in the space. So aside from that, I hope you found this useful. Thanks for bearing with me as I'm trying to navigate all the crazy shit I got going on in my life while still trying to put this out to help you. I'll catch you over on the Telegram channel. Hopefully, I'd love to have some great conversations there. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Viva La Coin, and I will see you guys next time.